All right, today we are talking about the hero's journey as a storytelling device and a psychological aid. Our three films for today will be Moana 2016, Dune Parts 1 and 2, and The Matrix 1999. Okay, the hero's journey. What is it? What are the stages? You want to break it down for us?
Yes, let's break it down. So from what I know, the hero's journey's got many different stages, but the six that we're going to focus on today include the call to adventure, the call to action, followed by the refusal of the call, that moment where you're not sure if we're going to jump feet first into this world, into this journey. Then we move on to separation from the ordinary world, the descent into the darkness where there's trials and hopefully triumphs, but often failures as well. Followed by transformation, where the hero is thus transformed because of all the ordeals that she's been through. And finally, the return back to the world, usually bringing some boon or some prize, something that they've gained from that journey. And you say, okay, this was coined by Joseph Campbell.
Yep.
And we know that he discovered this pattern from looking at and analyzing myths and stories from around the world, from many different cultures, from many different time periods.
Yep.
And so it speaks to the psychological truth of these stages.
Yeah.
And while there is, of course, variation,
Right.
there is something innately human about the separation, the transformation, and the return.
Yep.
If we're going to make it even more simple.
Perfect.
6 stages.
Well said. You can read The Hero with 1,000 Faces by Joseph Campbell, where he breaks it down into this 12 stages. That is the more detailed, robust version, the original version. This 6-stage process we're going to be talking about was taught to me in high school, and it's always stuck. And that's why I'm using this version today. Okay, so let's start with the call.
Yeah.
I love the call. This is also known as the inciting incident or the catalyst in film and storytelling. So the call, somebody calling you, it's a disruption of the ordinary world. And it's also like this moment of change. So our three protagonists are Paul, Neo, and Moana. And let's start with Moana.
Oh, I love Moana.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Something that really struck me about the call with Moana is because we get to experience, I think, like 2 different calls. One that's more internal, that speaks to like her core self. In that very beginning of the movie when she's like a baby, right? The ocean is like beckoning her, right? With that little shell. And I see that as a call, as like some like hint of like, who are you? Something very internal. And later we have a call that comes out of necessity where the island is in peril, right? They're losing their food sources and the society is at risk. And so there's a more external call that she's faced with. So I see the call happening in multiple different ways in Moana, which is one of the reasons why I really liked it. Because I think as humans, we get to experience the call. Sometimes by necessity, it's forced upon us. And other times by some inkling inside, some whisper that's saying like, maybe there's something more, maybe there's something different than what I'm used to.
And that the external problem can be solved with the internal solution.
Right.
I love that it starts when she's a child.
Yes.
Because I think that's really telling of something I think we might neglect for a long time, especially as we're putting on the social responsibilities on our back, kind of pointing to our first episode when we talked about like the camel as the metamorphosis or symbol of the first stage of development where you are carrying the load of societal and parental expectations. And so she abandons her desires as a little kid to like the connection she has with the ocean because she has responsibilities to take on.
Yes.
As far as, you know, being next in line to be chief for her people. Right. Anything else about Moana there?
Do we want to talk about the father archetype there?
Yes. Yes, please.
Yeah. So I love that it's literally her father, one in that in this film, but also the father represents culture and society, established rules and norms, and we see Moana feel pressure to be happy with, to be satisfied with the ordinary world, to be satisfied, to stay within the bounds of the culture, and so I just wanted to comment on that, like, father pressure that we all must face when discerning whether or not we're going to answer this call. And that I think that pressure exists often, no matter what. There is no journey if we're staying within the bounds.
Yeah. And the father archetype comes up a lot with these three as a symbol of society.
Yes.
So just to take a step back, it's usually the father who is like teaching the kid how to not get bullied, how to stay safe in the society, how to be kind of tough.
Yep. What the rules are.
What the rules are, right? Whereas the mother is more just this place of like acceptance and grace, and you be free, like you be yourself. I think about Sophia and Jay in Modern Family. Have you ever seen Modern Family?
Yes.
So, you know, like Jay is like trying to set Manny up to not get beat up at school,
right.
like
to succeed in the world
and to be safe. Yes, to succeed in the world, and you have to be safe to succeed in the world.
Right.
Whereas Sophia, the mom, Gloria, sorry, she goes by Gloria. Her real name is Sophia. She is like, oh, you just be yourself. Always be free to be yourself. And she's such a place of like love and acceptance. And so it's that balance that we get from the father who's trying to protect you to succeed, and the mother who's accepting you as you are completely. Because, I mean, just if you don't know Manny at all, he is like, he's like an old man in a young, he's an old soul.
Yes.
In a very young body. And Gloria just encourages this behavior all the time, but he is susceptible to getting bullied.
Yes.
And so the father is really there to protect you so you can succeed in the world.
Absolutely.
One of the catalyst I have for Paul, one of the calls for him is his father dying.
Yes.
Again, the world he knew, Caladan, the society, the culture he knew was all kind of, it's gone for him. And so he has no choice but to leave and go into the desert after his father dies. Also, there's the dreams that call him. Mm-hmm. So he's dreaming and he's getting these little like prescient, visions of something more. So just like Moana, the ocean's calling her. For Paul, the dreams kind of call him. And to take a little step back as well, the emperor they send House Atreides to Arrakis. They remove the Harkonnen house from Arrakis. And this is all a ploy to essentially destroy the house of Atreides, because the emperor is envious of them.
Right.
Is afraid that they will take their position. And so they go through the ceremony of change, which I love this scene because Duke Leto Atreides says, there is no call that we do not answer. There is no faith we betray. And so that will be more relevant in a little bit, but there is no call that we do not answer. And so that is the messaging that Paul has too. He looks up to his father. He loves his father. His father's been a great role model. But yeah, he knows that there is no call. And we're going to see this later on in the refusal and whatnot, how he fights and struggles with that.
Yes. Yes.
What do you have on Paul?
Oh, Paul I experienced as really like being put upon on this journey. Like, we talk about the different calls to adventure, even just showing up at Arrakis. He's already departing. That's already a call for adventure. And we can just tell, and maybe this is better served in this next step, but just how much weight he carries about whether or not to accept his call and what that is. Because we see him accept a few different calls, right? We can see him go on adventures, but there is this ultimate call that carries a lot of ambivalence for him, and at first is very rejected. So maybe we should move into the refusal.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
Oh, wait, I do have to talk about Neo's call.
Oh, yes.
I do,
all right,
because it's one of my favorites. It's one of my favorites because, you know, he's asleep at his computers, and then he gets a message on his computer screen. It says, "Follow the white rabbit." And also Trinity shows up later on at the club when he does follow the white rabbit. And there's a couple symbols here I love. So the white rabbit is usually the herald, like think of Alice in Wonderland.
Yes.
It's also a trickster energy. Trickster energy is all about breaking down the system that's not serving you anymore. White rabbits are also a fertility symbol. So that can be associated with vitality and life force. Yeah. So his life is very dull, right? In the Matrix, there's that green kind of, what is it called? Like a shade over everything. Yeah. Everything's kind of dull. There's like this patina, like the world is just kind of sad and not a lot of life there.
Right.
So the white rabbit comes, follow the white rabbit, which is the tattoo on the girl when they open the door. Yeah. And then he meets Trinity, and Trinity has blue eyes. So blue is often a symbol of transcendence and truth, also of serenity and calm. We'll come back to the blue pill later and see how that makes sense with that. But I just wanted to, plant that little seed about the blue eyes, the truth. So she, he's following the truth, something he knows, instinctually that is there that he can't access yet for himself.
I love it being around the truth, because I think in our lives as everyday people, that's often what thrusts us into the journey is the ability to acknowledge and bear what the truth is. And that truth might be, I don't know, like a dissatisfaction with something in your life. For him, the truth is what is real, what is reality. But sometimes it's the ability to recognize, or being brave enough, having enough courage to recognize and bear the truth rather than living in ignorance, living in denial, living in fantasy.
Which is why the next stage, refusal of the call, is so important, because it's a hard pill to swallow, for lack of a better term there. We're going to see that with Neo in a second. But so this is interesting because I did not originally have this step in the stages.
Yes.
Right? And you were like, no, we need to incorporate that one. That one's really important. Tell me why it's so important to you, maybe as a psychologist or as just a human operating the world.
Yes, I think it's so important because I think as humans, we stay in the refusal for so long. I mean, even thinking in the stages of change, that ambivalence point where we're like, maybe not. Like I'm comfortable enough. The shame triggers come up. Like there's just so much that happens. And in time, it's so long that we hang out in refusal and fear. I just think it's such a real part of the process. And to leave it out feels like we're missing such a key part of our human nature, which is being unsure and being afraid and not knowing. I think a lot of this is just, it's intimidating.
I love that you made sure we had it in here, because as I was going through them, I was like, oh my God, it is so important. It is so huge. And for all three of our protagonists, it goes on for a while for all of them. So for Neo, he doubts himself until Morpheus's death. So, I mean, because we have other stages to get to. We have separation, right? We still have descent. Refusal of the call doesn't end at separation, or just like it just keeps going.
Right.
And for Paul, he doubts himself until he takes the poison and can see the path clearly, the water of life. from Shahaloud. And then Moana doubts herself until Grandma Tala appears as a manta ray
Yes.
in the ocean after Maui abandons her.
And it gives her this resolve.
Yeah. Yes.
I want to jump back a little bit to Neo, because that moment where he turns to fight Smith, and I don't even remember if it's Trinity who says it, but somebody's like, he's beginning to believe.
Yeah.
He's beginning to believe. That felt like, oh, he's clocked in now. Like we've now moved past ambivalence, because ambivalence no longer serves.
Yep. And it is at the moment, I think it's interesting that it's where he may not believe it for himself, but when it comes to saving someone you care about, you're able to do that.
To tap into that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's going to come in a little bit later too.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm going to pause on all my thoughts on it. I have also that refusal of the call is AKA the debate. That's in like a name of it in beats for storytelling in cinema. So it's the same thing. It's the debate. Think of it like as like, I like to think of it as like, yeah, they're just going back and forth. They're weighing all the pros and all the cons, right? And we do this in life all the time, where we know, okay, this is the next thing for me to go explore in my life. I'm just feeling, I'm hearing the whisper of that. Like we were talking about shadow work in episode 1. And for me, gosh, it was, we'll go back to the acting example, because like you said at the beginning, I was, which I don't remember this anymore, but I was like, I don't think I'll be auditioning or whatever. I'm just going to take a class and all that. Yeah.
Just for fun.
Right. Just for fun. It's just for fun. But to take it seriously, like you said, that there was just debate there. And then the truth is the debate never really goes away. But, you know, I think about things we work on, like the things that some things click. Some things click. Some lessons in life really click. And you're like, okay, this is what I need.
Yeah.
To kind of be myself great. And then other things maybe are rooted to a deeper trauma.
Yeah.
And it's something you have to constantly revisit and work through.
Yes. I love you said the debate never goes away. It almost like we hang at this, like what feels like a 50-50 place.
Yeah.
And maybe when there's 60-40, there's enough there to get us to move. But you're right. There's always something left.
Yeah.
Or often, maybe not always, maybe that's unfair, but often something left that continues to visit. Are you sure? Was that right? Does it make sense?
Yeah.
In therapy, a lot of our time is spent in the debate.
Yes.
I mean, that's where a lot of the therapeutic
That's
value
right.
comes from, is processing and, you know, what am I debating? What does it really mean to me? Like, can I explore all the way over here, one side, and all the way over there, and discover truth for myself so that there is a next step, even if it's not 100%.
Yeah. I'm also thinking about, like, sometimes you have to convince yourself, like it takes a while to convince yourself of a new way to frame a situation. Yeah, and that can take some time to accept, because the old story you thought it served you, and then it's not anymore, but it served you for so long.
Right.
Or the lie of it served you for so long, it kept you comfortable. So now you need a new story, a new frame, and you're going into a new world. How scary is that? So
Right.
of course we're naturally going to want to resist and push back, because we want to be comfortable and we want to be safe.
And what was the ultimate truth before now is starting to dissolve.
Yeah. Right.
And make way to a new truth. Like that's can feel crazy making.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. So that's what we have mentors for. So we could talk about mentors
Yes,
a
let's
little bit,
talk about
right?
mentors.
Because you're talking about therapists, and those are definitely a form of mentors in real life. And Moana has this moment with Grandma Tala where she takes her to a cave. And Moana asks what's in there, and Grandma Tala says, the question you keep asking yourself, who are you meant to be?
Yes.
So this is, right, in real life, how we can apply this is really about finding out who we're meant to be, like what our potentials are. So some of the mentors, we have Grandma Tala. Am I saying that right, Tala? Yeah, is that how you remember it?
So. I don't even know. Do they use her name
I don't know.
in the movie?
Maybe not.
She's like grandma to me.
Yeah, just Grandma. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll leave it there. And then Morpheus
Yes.
for Neo. And Paul has several.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, because he's a prince.
People are in his orb.
Yeah, he has so many. He has his dad. He has his mom, Lady Jessica. He has Duncan Idaho, the warrior. He has Gurney Halleck, played by Josh Brolin. Yes. And then he has Stilgar eventually when he goes and joins the Fremen, who's played by Javier Bardem. Gee, that guy's so good. Yeah, so the role of mentors in our life, they help us. They've been through it.
Yeah.
They've been through it. They can see it really clearly. They can see your
Yes.
path kind of really clearly.
They can. They can.
They have the wisdom too. They have the
And they
right.
don't have the same, they don't carry the same fear that we carry for ourselves. So all of the defenses, I think, that we put up to avoid seeing the truth
Yeah.
don't affect our mentors in the same way when they're looking at our lives. They may, right, in their own lives, but there is a clarity that the mentors can be. And all the mentors that we just mentioned, they believe and know firmly what is meant to be. Not exactly how it's going to go, but what this path that our hero is going to take and what who they ultimately are. And what role they're ultimately going to assume.
All right. So separation, aka the crossing, entering the unknown world and committing to the path.
Yes.
Oof. So there might be doubt, but there's a commitment now. Neo takes the red pill.
Yep.
Red here is a symbol of life, vitality, passion, right? I love that we talked about vitality in the last episode. Like when you're feeling a little down, depressed, unmotivated in life, it is often taking the risks and uncovering some secret within you
Yeah.
that we might be too afraid to face, but it is there, where we find vitality and agency again.
Right. And often uncomfortable.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Not a cozy place to be.
No.
So after he takes that, he literally separates from the matrix, the womb, right? He's like literally like baby status in there, and there's like goo and and he's bald. So there's the separation. That's the crossing. He is now in an unknown world. He wakes up. He sees that he's in a battery farm essentially for AI, and his body is part of that, right? So it's just a great visual of like you're totally in an unknown world now.
Yes. It's almost born into
Yeah.
this new world. Yeah.
Right. The rebirth, yeah, in a sense you could call it that too, which is
Oh,
going to be
I like
used.
that. Yeah.
We're going to use that again later. Too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rebirth. It's a bunch of
over and over and over
and
again.
over. Yeah. He doesn't take the blue pill. Blue is also, so we talked about it being transcendence and truth with Trinity's eyes. It's also the eyes of the Fremen. They have the
Yes.
truth, right? But it can also mean calm serenity, like looking at a clear blue sky. So the question there is blissful ignorance. Everything stays calm, no disruption to your life. Take the blue pill, you stay in the matrix.
Yeah.
Or it's not the truth, but in this sense, the symbol is more about that blissful ignorance is bliss,
Yes.
the peace, no disruption.
Yes. Yes.
And then, or you take the red, and that is usually chaos.
disruptive.
Right, highly disruptive. But it's also, again, like we talked about, where life and passion and vitality is.
Yes.
So he takes the red pill.
Yes.
So then we also have Paul. His separation is escaping into the desert, right? The desert world, deserts, ocean for Moana. This is, wilderness.
Wilderness, right. And
Yeah.
for Moana, it's like that moment where she's like, I just have to cross the reef.
The reef. The
Like
reef
once
is...
she's outside the reef,
Yes.
she's committed.
Yeah.
It's there.
She's all in.
Yeah.
Right. Even Neo, when Morpheus takes him back into the Matrix, and it's like a program that shows him the world as it really is. He calls it the desert of reality. So again, deserts, oceans. Wilderness is usually where where transformation is going to happen, because we are completely removed from all of our comforts.
Yes.
Can't be comfortable to change.
No.
Moana, in doing that and going to the unknown, she's defying tradition. She's defying her father. Again, Paul escaping to the desert. It's separation from his home and his father. Again, society, order, the way things were, safety, all gone. Yeah.
And Paul even seems to yearn for a more complete and final separation when he leaves, right? Like being able to become accepted by the Fremen. There doesn't seem to be, like with Moana, it's clear that there's an intent to return. With Paul, I don't feel that same intent.
That's great. That's great. He definitely discovers it then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's almost like the call for him was a little bit forced, right? Like it was premature. He wasn't expecting to be king yet, duke yet, right? This reminds me of, which, I love to reference The Lion King, because that is the story I learned the 5 core stages with in high school. But Simba also, he's next in line for the throne, but he is not, his father's taken from him early. He leaves to the wilderness. He transforms there, and he eventually has to be kind of told to come back.
Like the conscious goal was more to escape.
Completely escape.
Right.
This all kind of happened to him. He wasn't really going out there hoping to come back.
No.
Yeah. But this is why we love women, and we love women protagonists, because this is different. Women have this, all right, I think it is Jung calls it the anima. Is it the like the feminine energy?
In a man, a feminine energy would be the anima, and in a female, the masculine energy would be an animus. And to me, it's a confusing concept. I always feel like I struggle to
Me too.
Explain it, much less understand how these things manifest. But continue.
But a path of individuation or becoming whole is accessing the part of you that you are not cultivating in life. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So regardless of your sex, your orientation, how you operate in the world, whatever is lacking in you, if it's more of that feminine quality, the caretaker or whatnot, or if it's more, if it's more of the masculine, protective kind of structured order that you need in your life, you need to cultivate the opposite thing that you carry and hold to become more whole. And that's why we love they thems. That's why we love that the binary is being broken down, because they're showing us the path of full integration of those 2 parts.
Absolutely.
And how that relates to this, I think, is that so Moana has really cultivated, I think she is that caretaker, right? She leaves for the purpose of saving her people.
Yes.
Right? Paul's not there yet.
No.
He uncovers that.
Paul, in fact, he wants to reject the responsibility that keeps getting laid at his feet.
Right? Yes, he does. And Neo does not believe in himself for some time. He does not think he can. He's so in shock by the call, I think, by the moment of waking up in the real world, and the whole thing going on. He's not really thinking about people in the Matrix yet.
No.
I don't think. He's not thinking about waking everybody up.
No.
Not for some time. He's more concerned with I'm waking up. This is crazy right now.
Yes.
But often, feminine figures in our lives are thinking about the family always, right? So that's why we love Moana. That's why we love putting her in this mix here. I really think that's really fascinating and interesting and telling about the way we operate in the world. And then I have Maui trickster energy I want to talk about because, gosh, we're in the separation. She gets introduced to him in the ocean around then. What is a trickster archetype to you? Because you introduced me to this archetype and I love.
Yes.
Love,
Trickster's
love.
so fun. Like trickster is like not rule following. It's self-serving for the most part.
Yeah.
It's let me see how I can get what I want, maybe even get what I need, but through some non-traditional ways. Tricksters love shortcuts. They love tricking. They love there's something not so serious about the trickster, which I think makes it alluring. And tricksters have some qualities that the culture or the father archetype might find offensive or might find not upstanding. So the trickster doesn't care about being upstanding. They care about the end goal. And sometimes the end goal can simply be fun for my own entertainment.
Loki is like the OG trickster. His dad, Odin, actually adopted him. He's a war child. Did I write this down somewhere? I think I did. This is actually like a thing that happens, that has occurred in history, where after war it's a hostage taking, essentially, where you adopt a child from another territory to keep things amicable, like
a ward.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
So Loki essentially is adopted.
Okay.
He was adopted through war. His species is the blue giants, and so he's a shapeshifter just like Maui is.
Yes.
And I love that Loki is this, because you've told me this too, that the trickster also is responding to a system that doesn't really serve him, isn't really made for him. And so Loki isn't living with his family. He's living with a foster family, essentially.
Yeah.
And because of a war that was lost. And that's interesting. I mean, that it would make sense that you'd never really feel like you're at home. Like the system, the thing, the world around you isn't really made for you. So you get kind of creative.
And you could pick
about
up
making your own space.
play different parts.
Yeah.
Put forward different parts of yourself that do exist. Like, lots of options.
Lots of options.
Yeah.
So Maui is great. I mean, he's hilarious.
Of course.
He's like Shark Man at one point, and he also uses his shape-shifting abilities to steal the heart of Tafiti. Yeah. So, he's, Maui's response to kind of a broken system, because it was destructive when he used his powers to steal the heart to gain affirmation from the people, because he was loving all the praise he was getting.
Yes.
Yet it wasn't enough for them anyway. But it's also a constructive trait and quality when he uses it in service of others.
Yes.
You were saying. I think we need to learn to cultivate that. I always think about it myself, like, how can I get a little creative in here? Approaching it with play, the idea of like, I don't know, when you need to shift, when you need to kind of morph into something else to get out of a certain hump in life, or to create space for yourself, to get out of a situation that's not healthy for you.
Yes.
You kind of have to be maybe a little deceitful to get yourself into a safe place.
I'm with you. I think that, like, to embody trickster energy, you have to lax a little bit on maybe your ideals, or these like, moral or ethical ideals. There needs to be a little bit of room for the trickery, for the misrepresentation, for the slipping through that sometimes has to be done.
Yeah.
And this rigid, like clinging to incredible and useful ideals, right, often keeps us stuck. We can't get that heart of Tafiti back,
right?
if we can only do it in a certain way.
Yeah.
If we can only do it by being the most upright.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Get a little dirty.
You gotta get a little dirty.
Yeah.
Like we said in episode 1, it takes the shadow to deal with shadowy things. You know, it's that finding the redeeming qualities within these areas that we find to be bad.
Yes.
Yeah. Learning how to see the grays and be a little bit more flexible.
Yes. And Trish's competent with that energy, with that shadow energy. Like, I don't perceive that the shadow threatens the trickster. Like, it's used by the trickster. There's a competence that I think, an adeptness that a trickster or a good one has with that shadow energy. Knows when to use it, knows when to put it aside.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Because it kind of can be very destructive as
Right.
well. So you have to have the discernment to know when to
Right.
leverage it and then when to be responsible with it.
Absolutely.
Yes. All right, next is Descent.
Descent.
Oh my gosh. This is the trials, the temptations, the enemies are closing in.
Yes.
So for Neo, he dies. There's usually a symbolic death during this phase. For Neo, he dies and resurrects in the Matrix. So he goes to save Morpheus, and in that process, he dies, and he does resurrect there as kind of a new him, reborn.
Yes, he does.
Paul, the symbolic death there is the death of Jamis. So he kills Jamis in that fight. And he's been having visions about this happening, and he thought he was going to die in it, but he learns his visions aren't clear yet, right? So they're really misleading. So he thought he was going to die in this, but he realizes, oh my gosh, no, I'm going to have to kill this man.
Yeah.
My first kill. And there's like a voice, one of the Reverend Mother voices shows up and says something like, taking a life is, you lose your own life in the process of taking a life. So there is the death of self there. And Moana, I think it's when she's abandoned by Maui and she must face the challenges alone.
Yeah.
Descent. This is the loneliest, darkest place. There's a lot of isolation in Descent.
And a lot of wondering, like, am I gonna die here, literally or figuratively? I think these tests, often these are in the films, a lot of the action is in this Descent, right? We get to see a lot of the tests taking place.
Yeah.
But the feelings that come up are a lot of like fear, I think, a lot of discovery of self in those tests of like, what can I do? What new skill do I have? It's just a lot happening. Like, you're starting to gather that awareness for the ultimate ordeal.
Yeah.
Which often there is that one big test. I mean, you talk about these like death events for both Neo and Paul, really, where they have this final, like, really big death and rebirth that ultimately leads to transformation. But to get there, I think they had to go through all of those little trials and tests and find out who they are.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. The trials is a huge part of it. The tests, the practicing of the new self, putting it into play and failing so many times.
Yes.
And how true is that in real life, right? Like putting yourself out there, trying new things, going back to the acting example, because I can't think of anything else, but that, like putting your feet in the water and like, just kind of
doing it.
Yeah, just doing it, and then you get more and more comfortable. This project for us, huge test for ourselves of like being bold and not choosing not to care about the results, about the feedback, but following what you need to do.
Right.
Like
seeing what you're made of, really. And something that I noticed about the test, like, gosh, and that's so true for me in this process, is at some point in the test, you have to give up your normal ways of doing things.
Yeah.
Like for me, I have an active fantasy life. So I can think about being creative. I can think about putting myself out there. I can think about, and I can imagine what it would be like. And that takes me only so far. And at some point, like doing this right now, the test requires me to try something that I haven't done before, that I'm like wobbly at.
Yeah.
And I think that's true of all of our protagonists, of all of our heroes, is that there's some hope that maybe I can do this the way I've always done it, and the failure. And just learning from that failure that like I have to grow another limb here.
Absolutely. Yeah. Same thing for me. I mean, yeah, when you're pursuing a new creative endeavor, trying a new job, anything that feels like a risk and a complete separation from the world you once knew, it's new territory. It takes doing it over and over and over again, different types of projects, different types of things to get really comfortable in that place, to just prove to yourself, I did that.
Right.
I did it. Good for me.
Good for me. And I can claim it now.
And you can claim it. You can say you did it.
Yeah.
And that you're capable of that.
That I'm capable.
And that you can. And not to judge the work of it.
Yeah.
The only thing worth weighing is that it was accomplished. That's it.
It makes me think about the man in the arena speech. Like, have you heard of Man in the Arena? So. It comes from an address that Teddy Roosevelt gave. And I'm obsessed, but he says something, and I'll butcher it, but it says something like, it's not the critic who counts. Yeah. It's the man in the arena whose face is marred by blood and sweat and tears, and who knows the agony of defeat, but also like the thrill of victory. And that, I think, is what the hero has to endure during the descent, is the agony of defeat. There will be no thrill of victory without allowing yourself to be vulnerable enough to go through that defeat, to go through that, I don't know what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
What do I look like? I'm stumbling, I'm falling, I'm not sure which way is up.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, absolutely. Because, yeah, we're so focused on success in our culture too, right? It's like, you got to do amazing work and the quality has to be amazing and it has to be successful and you have to have all these likes and you have to, whatever.
Right.
Whatever
and if
it
not,
is.
It wasn't worth it and you're nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just not the truth.
No.
The truth, it really doesn't build ego strength, like you mentioned before. What builds that strength is saying that you are comfortable with just yourself and that you can do these things isolated in a place that's totally new and unknown to you, but that you keep showing up for yourself.
Right.
Over and over again.
And not without fear.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
and
it
not
doesn't
without
have
fear.
to be, totally cool and fine.
Yeah.
The fear is part of it.
Yeah.
And we see that with all of our protagonists too, right?
Right.
The fear is so real and ever present. It doesn't go away, even when they are all in. The fear comes with them.
That's right. In Dune, they have that great quote. Highly recommend reading the books. Fear is the mind killer, the little death that brings obliteration. And I love the end of it because I can't remember it off the top of my head, but the end of that passage, they also talk about letting the fear pass through you.
Yes.
And once you have, you will turn your mind's eye and you will see that only you remain. So, yes. So the more and more you practice walking through your fears, letting it pass through you, accepting it, seeing it, letting it pass through you.
Right.
You will remain. You'll still be alive. You'll still be there. And and reality will be recentered and refocused for you.
You don't have to spend your energy trying to fight it off.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
You let it pass.
You just let it pass. Right. you build a relationship with it. You welcome it in, and then see it leave. That's it. That's the job. All right. Anything else on Descent? I just like symbolic deaths. That's huge.
Yeah.
You know, dying to the old self so that we can go into the next stage, which is transformation. Death of old self. This is the rebirth. So for Neo, he becomes the one. So he's just died saving Morpheus. And things are falling apart in the real world. Trinity is the one who believes in him.
Yes.
And she's like, you have to. You can't be dead because I love you. And the Oracle told me, you know, that I will love the one. I would love the one who's the one. So she knows that he is the one because this is someone she's realized she loves, she's in love with. So I like that scene because I think also it takes love to be reborn and to see yourself. We talked a lot about the mother archetype and that gentle, inviting that gentle kind of presence into your life in episode 1. For Paul, he learns the ways of the Fremen and is accepted. That's big transformation. And then I think the moment though is when he takes the water of life and transforms into the Kwisatz Haderach.
Yes.
Where he can finally access all of the ancestral memories and has unlimited prescience. And so then he's able to really see the path forward.
Yes.
He's able to make a decision, move forward, and be the leader that everyone needs
settled
to be.
in his
It's settled.
heart. Yeah.
He's at peace with it.
Yeah.
And then for Moana, again, just some feminine caretaking energy here. She transforms to Fidi.
She does.
So not just herself, but she transforms to Fidi back into her original state, which is beautiful.
She returns her heart, her spirit.
Yeah. That's so beautiful.
She's been so bereft to Fidi. And
that song,
she can be whole.
Oh, when she's singing to her, I can't even take it. It's so much.
I cry every time.
I cry every time too. It's so beautiful.
It is.
Oh, I know who you are, and she's telling her I know who you are, and it's so beautiful, my Lord.
And the courage. I mean, it brings me back to our last episode. The courage to face that scary shadow of Tafiti, which at this point is I mean, they call it Taka, right? Like it's got a whole nother name. It's terrifying.
It's destructive.
It's destructive. But Moana can sense that this is Tafiti. Like this is it. This is what remains when the heart and the spirit is stolen. Let's restore.
Yes.
It's fantastic.
It is so fantastic. I love the song that Moana sings in it. She says, and the call isn't out there at all, it's inside me. When she realizes that she has everything she needs.
You know, that makes me think about intuition, and that being able to reconnect with your own intuition being such a common experience of the transformation stage of the hero's journey. Like it may be for us outside of the storylines, that's what it's all about, is being able to reconnect and trust our own intuition, our own voice inside, and not have to doubt it so much.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so true. Finding your voice, knowing what it sounds like, trusting it. Yeah, absolutely.
Having some resolve in it.
Yeah, unapologetically.
Right.
Like owning it.
I know, or I'm pretty sure. And therefore, that gives me enough energy to take the step that I need to. I don't need the culture. I don't need
the feedback, the affirmation
to tell me anymore.
And that's why the trials are so important, to your point, because you practice every time at getting better.
And the mentors.
Because
they give you that when you can't do it yourself.
Right. And this is the perfect timing because Moana's mentor, Grandma, comes through as a giant blue manta ray in the water.
Yes.
She's glowing, and and she gives her that final push that she needs to see the possibilities in herself.
It's almost like she's like passing the baton.
Yeah.
Like now it is you. Like you're ready.
She's so sweet. I can't take that movie. It's like it's so much. And so now we're at Return, and let's see, Return with the Elixir, a lesson or power to heal community.
Yes.
So Neo returns to Matrix to free minds at the end. He's like on the phone in the phone booth, and he's like, I'm gonna free these minds. Paul takes the throne and frees the Fremen from oppressive rule. Moana restores her island, becomes a better leader to her people. Yeah, what you got?
Yeah, I think that Paul's return sits with me because it's not as neat as Moana's, right? Like, okay, we're different genres, also aimed at different age groups.
True.
But there's something so real about Paul's return because there's a true, real sacrifice that he feels the grief of, continuously with the return, like this like massive bloodshed that will be, in his name, right?
Yes.
It's not as clean, and I think as we're experiencing Paul's story, it probably feels more real to a lot of our own journeys, that there is something sacrificed and not always something that we're happy to leave behind. Whereas with Moana's journey, I think the return is so jubilant. Whatever was sacrificed is like, great.
Yeah.
The fear, the being caught up with culture and ideas about who I'm supposed to be gets sacrificed. Good riddance. But with Paul, it's more complicated.
It is. Because Paul also he has the foresight to see the deaths that will be involved with the war. And that just goes against his values and what he wants for people. And so, and in his name, there's the idea of prophecy that we can go into. It could be a whole other episode of that and fate and all of those complicated things.
It shows up for Neo too. I mean, they both have a very like similar Messiah version of the journey.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Definitely warrants its own conversation. It's great. It's a great idea. I love that kind of storyline. But yeah, so he just has a lot more to kind of come to terms with. At least with Moana, she knows she's going to go back and her people will be fed and will be okay.
And have more
abundance.
More abundance and more choices, right? The entire culture now can choose. They can return to being people of the sea, right?
Yes.
They have it's just so overwhelmingly jubilant.
Yeah.
But with Paul's, it's mixed.
Yeah.
There's loss in there too. It's not so one-dimensional.
Right. He has to make a political marriage, even though he loves Chani.
Yes.
He has to make all these really difficult choices.
Right. Personal sacrifice. Yeah.
To free the Fremen and to reclaim his place as well. All right, so that takes us to the next episode, which will be on faith and reason.
Yes.
All right. Thank you for talking with me today.
You're welcome. Thank you.